Hey guys, it's Morgan from Highland Cycles coming back to you with another tech video. If you guys ride rocks like this, you're going to eventually end up doing this to your pipe. That's because if you ride a two-stroke, which you should because they're better than four strokes. But it happens. Dents in pipes happen. People always ask me why I don't run a big guard. Quick answer to that question. When you run a big guard of whatever kind, if it's just on the pipe, carbon fiber, aluminum, whatever, when you hit the rock that you're inevitably going to hit, if you hit hard enough, the energy from that hit has to go somewhere. And if you have a big pipe guard, it will drive that energy back. Sometimes it'll bend a pipe back in here and pinch it shut. That's no good. I've seen a lot of times it bends and breaks the flange on a cylinder. That's also no good. It just does more damage that I would rather deal with just a dent in the pipe, like I'm going to show you today. If you have one of the big, huge guards that bolts to the frame and comes up and around like that, first of all, those things are huge and heavy and honestly just, in my humble opinion, super ugly. But also, I have heard of people, I've never seen this actually, so I guess it could just be hearsay or fake rumors on the internet, but I've heard of people damaging frames because it bolts, here to the frame and you hit something super hard and the frame is not really made to be stressed in that way. I mean, that's not how the thing was built. So I've heard of damage. Again, I can't prove that. I have seen lots of other damage to cylinders and, pipes and things like that. So dents are going to happen. Let me show you how to fix those. All right, so obviously first things first, we got to get the pipe off of this thing. Now I have bent this. You can see, let's take a good look at what it looks like this. You can see it came back, it hit the frame right there, dented back in here. Obviously the big noticeable damage is here. Got real close to the radiator, which we can probably pull that down, just like adjusting things. So we got to get this off of here. I'll show you how we're going to do that. Obviously, if you're watching this video, you probably know how to take your pipe off, but I'll show you anyway. Another thing though, I got to show you, you guys may have noticed when I was just over here, this bolt is missing. This bolt was actually missing from the factory. I replaced it with a bolt and now it's gone again. So I'm not sure why that's happening. If it's just the vibration of this bike. And I know that, yes, the betas do vibrate more than the KTM, but they don't vibrate as much as the old KTMs or like a YZ. So I'm not sure why that came out. I might have to do some stuck nuts thread locker on that to keep that from happening. To get this off, I'm going to take this mount off. Normally we'd take that mount off, it already is. Then I'm going to pop these two springs loose, one here and on the other side, and then hopefully we'll be able to slide this off while leaving the silencer on the bike. I don't think I bent the pipe back in here, so it should just all slide off okay. If we do have any issues though, we'll pull the silencer off too. Boom. So it must not be that bent that much. Came off without having to get the crowbar out and pry it. I was able to leave the silencer on there. All right, now let's head over to the bench and get this thing set up for fixing it. All right, guys, so we got the pipe over here. Now you're gonna need some sort of fixture to block the ends. Right now, there's two basic ways of fixing, I guess three basic ways of fixing these pipes. One is the hydroforce or some sort of water pressure. So you can cap these thing off, fill it with water, and then pressurize it with water. That works very well. I have a hydroforce. That's a brand name. It does work. In my opinion, and I think a lot of other people feel this way too, when you pressurize it with water, it's trying to straighten this whole thing out into one long straight deal, right? Because it's just pushing on everything. And I've found that what happens is it tries to straighten this, and it ends up making the pipe not fit. It's a real pain in the butt. Also, it tends to like break welds and like cause holes and things, probably because it's a weak spot anyway, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan. It does work, but it's not my favorite. The other thing you can do is an old school body thing. You can like tack weld rods on this, hammer it, slide it, whatever, grind it off, all that. Or you can use air pressure and heat. Now I use this. It's Mino Racing Products. I don't think these guys exist, or maybe the company exists, but they don't make this anymore. But There's lots of these things on eBay. Just look up two-stroke pipe repair on eBay, buy it yourself, or you can build it. A lot of people say, oh, I can build that myself. Awesome, please do. I don't have time, I don't want to mess with it. I'm willing to pay someone to do it. We use these things a lot, so it's more than paid for itself. So come over here. I'll show you guys this up close in just a second. One of the keys to doing this is making sure you very securely secure these to the pipe, because you're going to put a whole bunch of air pressure in here, and if you don't get it on there well enough, then you're going to have injury because it's going to come flying apart. Now this side, on the cylinder head side, or excuse me, the cylinder side, is easy because you've got the lip of the pipe to tuck this underneath. So now it's mechanically, it can't come off, right? I mean, it would, I guess anything can happen, but it probably won't, especially if you tighten these down nice and tight. This side, guys, this is the one that's really important to get right. Do a good job cleaning. Don't want any oil on there because it makes it even more slippery. I'm going to take our other adapter. I'm going to come over. And now we're just going to clamp this thing down tight. And because this has the option, I'm going to show you how to make it super secure so you're really super safe. Now, to be honest, I generally don't do the next step because I've never had a problem. I tighten these really tight and I've never had one come loose. But it definitely is a possibility because it can slide. There's nothing mechanically keeping it from coming off. But now, since we have this mount here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get some safety wire and we're gonna come around here, through here, and safety wire this so it's just a mechanical stop. So if it does blow off, it could theoretically cock and whatever, but it's not gonna fly off and hit anybody in the face. All right, safety wire, we'll come through here. And honestly, I'm just gonna do one wrap. If you want to, you can do more. I think one is plenty. All right, now we got that safety wire. Now I'm gonna fill this thing up. Also, another way of being safe is just make sure that none of this is aimed at your face or anybody else's face. People always ask me what I fill them to. I go to somewhere between 80 and 100. Kind of depends on how bent things are. This one's pretty bent, so I'm actually going to go right up to 100. All right, again, always aiming this away from your face. There's our big dent. Now, a lot of guys always say online, you use a oxyacetylene and a rosebud. Absolutely, 100%. That does a better job and faster. Heats this thing up faster, heats it up in a tighter area. It's definitely a better way to do it. The problem is, with that, you can burn a hole in the pipe if you're not careful. Now, if you're a welder or someone who works with that stuff all the time, then go for it. I'm not, right? I'm a mechanic and a guy who does not do any welding, although I'm gonna hopefully get into that, but I definitely don't do any oxyacetylene welding. So for me, this is easier. MAP gas is what I use. It gets hotter than propane, but it's not so hot that it'll burn a thing. You could hold this on here for days and it would not burn a hole. So now, I'm gonna turn this thing on. We're gonna heat this sucker up. And I like to kind of heat the whole thing up, get it all nice and warm. And then, that's probably pretty darn warm. Then I come here and I'm gonna start on one edge. And just work back and forth. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna slowly work my way across the dent. All right, that outside's looking pretty good. This side, we're going to come back across, try to get this to smooth out just a little bit more. right, that's looking pretty good. Yeah, it's looking a lot better. Now, we're going to get you guys some better shots of all this. Now, I got a little tiny dent up here. We're going to go ahead and hit. All right, get that straightened out. Now, the back side of this, like I showed you, hit the frame. You can see, right there. I'm going to heat that up. And with the air pressure that we've already built and the so with the air pressure we've already built, now we do this, hopefully this will tweak this out just a little bit. And we'll see. When we put it back on, we'll see if this is further away from the frame than it was.
I got a girl, and she is so fine. When the sun says it's daylight.
All right, now just a couple more little dings over here that don't really do much and don't really bother me, but since I'm doing it, I might as well.
I got a girl, she's mine, all mine. I got a girl, she is so.
All right, there we go. Looking pretty good. I'm gonna let this cool off a little bit, and then we'll take it over to the bike and see how it fits. Looking pretty good. Get these springs on here to help pull it in. Sweet, mounted up good. All the mounts, bolt, holes lined up, and definitely so close there. Gained a little bit back here, so we're not touching the radiator anymore. Everything looks really good. Super stoked. I think that looks much better than the big dent. And then obviously this side got rid of the dents there, so looks pretty good. Guys, I cannot recommend enough, if you have a two-stroke, buy a kit to fix it, to fix pipes, because, I mean, we can do it. If you live here, you want to send me a pipe or bring a pipe by, we charge between 20 and 40 bucks, depends on how hard it is and what we got to do. A guy just came by actually this morning already, and I did one for him for 20 bucks. It was super fast. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Hope that clears things up. Be safe if you're going to do it, guys. Don't aim them at people's face or your face. If you need to put that little mechanical advantage on there, put the safety wire on there, do all that stuff, and get out and get into the rocks. See you guys in the next one.